is the On Call Podcast. Your home for sports, news, pop culture, tech, and the obscure. And of course, your host,
drinking Kool-Aid
Michael
jammers like I
Myers.
did when I was 9. Cause I like to pretend that I haven't lost the tie. In the end, the nostalgia, though it tastes fine, I can only drink a couple cause it feels like a lie. We played Halo and we'd lay low in our basement until the sun began to rise. We would go to school but not learn too much, cause it's hard to read when you've got tired eyes. They've been with me for some time, and it's nice to know that they still by my side. Friends are like stars, cause no matter how far, when it's dark outside, they will be your light. We played Halo, and we'd lay low in our basement until the sun began to rise. We would go to school, but now learn too much, cause it's hard to.
to the MPZ podcast, I guess.
Yeah.
Just working on that rebrand. It's been a slow roll. We started talking about it a lot. It was like week 4 or 5. in the NFL.
Yeah. Now we're cruising. Now we're making moves.
Merch on the way. How do you calculate how we did last week? Anyway, MVZ at Friday. 1 week until Santa Claus is traveling.
Yeah.
Yeah. Christmas Eve next Friday.
Yeah, but 1 week till he takes off. Me, I gotta leave North Pole early. Alright.
Yeah, 24 time zones to get through.
Yeah.
NFL week 15, so not week time. Oh, that's 13. Damn. I wrote week 13 twice, so.
There we go.
I wrote week 13 on week 14. What team's done right? Zach, you got to hang out with some of my family. I'm surprised they didn't want to leave.
Yeah, I got here.
I'm not happy about it, but they didn't want to leave.
I mean, I get here and we were wrong.
Try to make this a little more family friendly. Beer on camera is not usually the best thing. This it's fun news week.
Yeah.
My condolences to Urban Meyer, I guess. We're not gonna, as the Twitterverse has been saying, we're not going to kick the man while he's down, like he did Josh Lambo.
He kicked the kicker. Could have punted the punt. Would have also worked out just fine.
It's fucking crazy.
Contract fully guaranteed though, so still gets it all. So that's fine.
I would truly love to fail like Urban has failed.
Oh yeah, just keep getting money.
Can you imagine signing a 6-year contract, fired 10 months in,
And so get the money.
and still get all the money?
That sounds like the dream. I wish, I mean, any job. I mean, I love my job to death, but
Yeah.
I'd also like to get paid my full salary and not work.
I should have went for coaching after high school. Screw the military.
Too smart to coach. all the big shots you get hit. Urban Meyer, Lane Kiffin.
Apparently not abusive enough.
Yeah, not abusive enough.
In other news this week, turns out Nancy Reagan is the throat goat. Zach was a little unfamiliar with said piece, but it's actually surprisingly old. There was an autobiography written, and not endorsed biography written about, I think it was Ronald, but she was mentioned as being the best. What's the best way to put it? Fellatio giver. And she was well liked back in her actress days around MGM. She was loved in the office because there wasn't a fella around that she wouldn't slobby nobby. Instagram likes to come up with new names for it, the Gluck Gluck, the Gluck Gluck 3000, stuff like that. Apparently she was Barbara Walters on 10, man. Because she was another person I heard was just great at giving dome to executives.
Well, that's as funny as my father-in-law is a big...
Big Gluck Gluck guy?
I wouldn't know.
Throw king, huh?
Big Fox News guy. And so when Hillary was running against Trump, he was like, oh, Hillary sucks, and all that stuff. And I was like, we know for a fact that she does not. And he was like, why do you say that? And I was like, because we know who Monica Lewinsky is.
Everybody knows who she is, right?
He died, because obviously he didn't mean literally, but...
It's best that way.
Yeah.
And for those who are looking for a special gift for your special someone, if you're a girl, naturally, if you are clapping cheeks and you want some good grip, get you some clap cleats. And these are real. These are fucking real.
Just take your socks off. I don't understand.
Some people get sweaty feet, my man. I'll even put it on there for people. Sometimes you gotta try new ways to have sex. So you want to be sure to get good grip. If your feet are slipping, anything's going on. I've been there. You just can't quite get your full motion to your ocean. So what do? You put on hospital socks. And if you get hospital socks, they're not attractive at all. I just see my keyboard's battery's fucking dead. And I don't want to unplug your phone because you are a fucking king, my man, so I'll just unplug the keyboard with a mouse charger. Anyway. Clap cleats. I'm sure that it's good. I have them saved on my phone. Yeah, it's on there. Clap cleats.
I'm saved, added to cart,
I did add it.
browsing for coupons.
For those who don't know, just use honey. Promo codes all over. Chrome tab. Bam! Win a free pair of cleats. But legit clap cleats. Get yourself some good grip to let it rip, to blow out some backs. If you're trying to, if you're on carpet and you're up north, you don't need this. You can just rock some regular fucking socks. But down here, it's tile, hardwood, laminate, smooth concrete. If you're,
Do these work on satin?
I don't think, they probably would work on satin if they're good rubber. Are you just standing on your bed trying to get some odd angles? That's all I can think of. Satin.
We're also using traction. You traction on your floor?
Yeah. Are you just a missionary only kind of guy?
No. I just realized the floor is slippery.
Cotton socks. And tile. Listen, you gotta.
Okay. Tile's, first of all, a little cold in the first place.
So is your wife. Necrophilia.
Oh.
Dead corpse. Man. You know, if there was a gaggle of people here, they'd have been like, oh, wait. Clap weeks. Although they are pretty expensive. You can just get hospital socks for free. Just go to the ER and say you got COVID or something. Speaking of COVID, NFL is now a 7-day sport practically.
It's
Who the Rams on?
a mess. The Raiders.
So how come
There have been some Raiders complaining that the game got moved. Saying, oh, so our whole schedule gets moved around because they're the ones having the outbreak.
I mean, they're not the only team that's having it.
The majority of the players in the league now reportedly don't want to be any rules for COVID. There's no testing, no quarantining, just play.
I can understand
And
that
they're
side.
saying that if you don't want to play with no rules, then you can stay out the rest of the year and get paid, but we should just do that. And the players' union's like, no, we're not doing that. Like,
Yeah, because I mean that leaves it leaves up the NFLPA to huge lawsuits and liabilities. These aren't just barbarians playing a sport. This is a multi-billion-dollar a year industry, and you can't fuck with the money coming in. Oh, the game's over.
yeah, we're on to the next. To the Lakers.
Golden State, who, a complete bust last season, are now like this fucking best team in the NBA.
For now.
I mean, for the majority of the season. I thought the Suns were going to catch them because they went in that
Right.
next game yesterday.
We'll see come playoff time. Things change.
Yeah. Hustle, hustle.
Yeah.
So yeah, a couple stories that I had there. Clap cleats,
Roll athletes.
throat goat. Now, I'm a nurse, and this is an old story that resurfaced. You've seen a good pair of jugs. Boobs. You don't want to stare, but you look.
I always heard that there's no set of boobs that I don't want to see once. Like you just, there's a community who was like, there's some that you see the one time, you're like, probably good not seeing those again, but I'm glad I saw them this time.
So for those who are
Barring,
watching,
like, your mom and, like, weird stuff like that, but, you know.
you can. I don't care if you want to see my mom. She's probably not going to show you, but
No, I meant, like, your, like,
like your own me saying that. I saw him when I was younger, so.
Yeah, but I was saying, like, it's not like that same. That obviously different is all I was saying.
So for those on the YouTube, nurse denies setting off fire alarm to watch colleagues' breasts bounce as she ran. Now it says Monday, May 14th, 2018, but this actually resurfaced because he was fired and everything for it. And I don't think it's not like there was a full trial, but there was a hearing and stuff. And I think he recently applied to get his license reinstated because he lost his license for it because
Not
as
all
a nurse,
heroes wear capes, you know?
you know,
Like,
I bet
nurses, whatever, but like this guy, setting off a fire alarm so you can see, like, not all heroes wear capes.
but he's a real hero.
Yeah, losing his job, being a pervert, that's what a hero's about.
I bet he's got a pair of clap cleats.
I bet he's a weird person. Anyone who's willing to set off an alarm to see some, like, you're a weird guy.
You are literally like one Google search away.
He's got some weirder stuff in clap cleats.
Follow those people on Twitch. Speaking of Twitch, you fart, right?
Yeah.
You have a bit fart, right?
Apparently my mic's a little echoey.
Yours is, mine's not.
Theirs isn't as echoey as mine. Feedback from the wifey.
Keep talking.
Oh, okay. I don't really know what to say.
Yeah,
It's always
say
hard
something
It's
before.
always hard to talk on the spot, but I'm gonna keep doing it.
Pussy.
What?
Keep talking.
A B C D E F G H I J K L M N O P Q R S T U.
Have her check now.
Any better? We can look at any better now that my ABCs are done.
She'll tell
Fixed.
you.
Boom.
It's weird. That setting actually
Flips back.
back and forth because I switched off the one. Remember we were super echoey? Same one. It's crazy. You know, that's just technology. Ain't it great? So, anyway.
I don't actually complain about an echo in the first place. Who doesn't want to hear me twice?
You're lucky enough to
You
hear
hear
me
me
once.
and you hear the vibrations of me. It sounds pretty good.
I wish I could hear myself twice.
Oh yeah.
So. Oh, not that one. Oh, farts are pretty popular. Hold on. Oh, that's not her. Oh my goodness. How? That's a day ago. That's another one. Okay, so this is a thing. Alright. So for those watching, Bethany, you can go ahead, check out the YouTube. Reality TV star says she's made $100,000 by selling farts in jars. Now, that's not even the only one in the last 24 hours, actually. My other story, right here, a Twitch streamer who was banned, actually, because she made $25,000 selling farts in jars. And these are two separate women.
And the girl from Twitch isn't necessarily a model either.
She is not hot in a classical sense.
No, there's nothing wrong with that, but I mean,
She has a normal body type.
Yeah, who wants farts in the first place? Like, maybe that guy who's setting off the fire alarm to see someone's things. Maybe he's dropping money.
She's not ugly, but like...
Yeah, but it's just like a normal woman.
turn me.
Nothing like a normal woman. I'm just saying, like, it's not like it's exactly like. I know.
Truly, you would see
it's
her.
always annoying when people are, oh, she's not a supermodel or anything, because like, why do women have to be compared to supermodels? But
she is legit just someone you'd see at the market.
yeah, you just see that person, and then I would like to see the stats on this. Like this one girl who made 100,000 farts. How many farts did she sell?
How about Belle Delphine? Bathwater girl? Oh my goodness, so you need to catch up. You're a kid, you're young. You're like 25.
I guess I'm not caught up to date on people selling bath water and stuff like that. I remember someone sold an apple that Tiger Woods took a bite out of and threw in the trash for like $25,000 or something stupid.
Ah, damn it. It's hard to search quick stuff. Philadelphia bathwater. Oh, that's a song too. It was $30 per bottle. And it was a jar. It was like a urine jar. Yeah, super fucking tiny. Oh, not a whole lot of her.
How much did she make a ton of money too?
Oh, it sold out quick.
And what are you doing with it? Drinking it?
I don't know anyone who actually bought it. Some of the incels were drinking.
That's why I don't understand. Like I'm not judging. I don't understand. I don't know what you're using it for. Are you drinking it? Are you? That's the only thing I can think of. You're putting it in your buying enough to make your own bath so you can share a bath. Buying a bath's worth of water.
This girl, the amount of money she was at one point making, right there, $2,500 a month to her exclusive lewd Snapchat, on top of 4,000 followers on Patreon, which means they're at least paying something. But her bottle of bathwater, $30, kind of a bargain in the grand scheme of money.
Sure.
She did also make an OnlyFans, and she posted on her Twitter, if I get this many donations, I'll sell like a nude, and she did, and now it's all over fucking Google. Like if you look up Belle Delphi nude, they're all over, and she did make she made some porn stuff. The problem is, I don't understand the huge draw to her. Because I do think part of the draw is creepy old dudes that's just like a really young looking girl. There's nothing spectacular about her. She has dyed pink hair, but she acts kitty-like.
Gross.
I didn't buy her bathwater. I never actually followed her on Twitter or
I
anything.
hate your Christmas gift.
Fuck, bathwater again?
My bathwater. For free.
Oh, I like yours. But like I don't get the draw of that aspect for porn or indecency, I guess. So. Just how are you with ASMR?
Oh, that is.
Zach, as we do pop culture stuff, and you are just. I could slit my wrist at how weak you are in the pop culture game right now.
Okay, I don't know.
Turn off sports for a minute.
I don't know my bathwater sales. I don't know my. I know some pop culture stuff. What's ASMR stand for?
I don't know. Something. It's autosomal.
Oh, this is the thing you're talking about with Savannah wanting to do it.
Yes,
yeah,
that stuff. Autonomous sensory meridian response.
Sure. Like sound porn.
That weird stuff. Scratches, Velcro, meowing.
Weird, man.
He crunch it when you eat popcorn, eating food.
Okay.
Gulp. So, I told Nicole, if you don't want to be a nurse anymore, start doing some ASMR shit. When I told her this stuff, it also blew up to an insane amount. The girl has been banned on Twitch umpteen times. I don't even. It's like Asmarath or something. She's a Twitch streamer. She started getting famous. Yeah. Amaranth. This girl. Income. She's actually bragged about it. Oh, the leak. That was, she makes like $1.3 million. She has actually said she's made more. But she's making $133,000 a month. To just be a girl who literally sits in a hot tub a couple hours a day. She got banned actually because she farted on Twitch. There's a 3-day ban. She gets those a lot. 1.3 million net.
I don't understand.
But she's also got an OnlyFans
Okay.
and sponsors and a Patreon. I have heard she's bringing in like $1.5 million a month to just be a redheaded chick with bolt-ons. I'm just sitting in the bathtub just talking shit.
Okay.
Life can be very hard for women. I get that, yeah. But easy money making opportunities are there. No, what about my dignity? What about your dignity? She's got plenty of dignity and she's just giving little tastes. She's just charging more for it than the $5 girl in the corner. She financed herself a little bit. It's crazy. There ain't no guy on the planet making that kind of... The only person making more money than her per month for doing less is fucking Urban Meyer.
Elon Musk.
See, that made a circle. There's a full circle there.
Yeah.
Elon
Musk, though, Urban Meyer, though, is the type of guy who's making more than her and then sending the money to her.
I guarantee.
Oh, yeah.
Who knows? That could be the girl he was trying to stick his little wet fingers in.
Ugh. Just gross.
Little wet fingers in. In other news, I don't know if you're vaccinated yet, but I know that you were carrying antibodies because you had COVID. You made it through, unfortunately.
Yeah, you know.
I'm vaxxed. I'm not boosted because I'm not eligible for another 3 months. Nicole's half vaxxed, and it's too late to get the second one, I guess. I don't know what the detriment is if you don't get the second booster or the second vaccine, but she's approaching that. The right-wing group is really picking a class of restaurant that they want to attack. And yesterday and the day before, it was a Cheesecake Factory in Applebee's. There's video all over.
Do you think Applebee's is nice because of that Walter Hayes song?
I don't think Applebee's is nice at all.
No, I'm saying, do they think that because the Walter Hayes song? You know what I'm talking about? The bougie like Applebee's on a date night. Do they think that because of that, it's like upper class?
They must. I don't know anybody that actually goes to Applebee's other than my dad because he loves the Bourbon Street steak.
I saw a funny thing where someone was like, if you think that Olive Garden is a nice restaurant, then you don't need to worry about Biden's tax plan.
Yeah, just like if your Tupperware looks like this or it's got like spaghetti stains in it, you don't need to worry.
But it's true though, like when I was younger though, I thought Olive Garden and Texas Roadhouse and Red Lobster, those were like the expensive restaurants.
Yeah, when you hear your family. I only ate at Applebee's once as an adult. I thought it was the...
Why did I think Applebee's was expensive? I thought that like Red Lobster, Texas Roadhouse, and Olive Garden were like the expensive restaurants. And now I'm like, oh, it's like kind of bottom of the barrel when you factor in just sit down restaurants. Like they're nothing compared to a lot of.
Oh, damn you, independent. I'm not going to register. I'll find that article somewhere else. But...
So what was their reasoning for storming?
They don't want to wear masks, they're just anti-vaxxers.
Okay. That's all I got. I don't know.
This is in New York.
I don't understand, like, being anti-vax, whatever, but what's storming Cheesecake Factory gonna do for you?
I'm guessing the people that charged Applebee's, those are probably the usual patrons of Applebee's. They're the anti-vaxxer right-wingers. Except for my dad, who's going to get a Bourbon Street steak with a couple of grilled shrimp on the side. He's had the same... His favorite meal has been the same.
I've heard the Bourbon Street steak's delicious. I had the Bourbon Street chicken one time. It was on special, and I had that. It's really good. I'm not hating on it. Not hating on it.
Nicole has always looked at Applebee's as a true bottom-of-the-barrel restaurant. And then when she was pregnant with Jax, she's like...
What?
They have really good French onion soup. And
know
they
what?
do!
You know what restaurant when I was younger I didn't really like, but now I like a lot that I think is significantly better than Applebee's? Is Chili's. Chili's is good.
Just talked to Nicole about that. She does not like Chili's. She thinks Applebee's is higher than Chili's. I said, listen here,
I
Nicole.
used to, and then I was mature and realized that I was wrong.
I think she might have a negative view of it because a
Because
girl
she
I
doesn't
dated,
love awesome chips and salsa.
a girl I dated 2 times before. Like the girl I dated before Nicole was Taylor. Before her was Brittany, who was the server at Chili's. Chili's is fucking good. They got some.
So
I don't think their main meals are great. I think they have really good appetizers,
Oh, the margarita grilled chicken.
really fun
So good.
drinks, and if you sit in the bar area, you get free chips and salsa.
Chip and salsa is great.
And they serve the delicious, super thin chips.
Oh, yeah. Their chips and salsa is fantastic. The margarita grilled chicken is so good. You can get a skillet cookie. Delicious. Delicious.
You don't like chocolate, you said.
I don't like chocolate on its own, I said. A cookie is not chocolate on its own. If it was a chocolate cookie with chocolate chips and chocolate fudge...
You're not a triple chocolate guy, okay.
No.
Okay.
Like, chocolate needs to be the complementary piece, not the main attraction, for me.
So the main for you then would be like the vanilla ice cream, the cookie, with a little chocolate chips on the side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Like, it's like, I've always wanted to make a chocolate chip cookie without the chocolate chips. And don't come at me with it's a sugar cookie. It's not a sugar cookie.
No. You're right. You're
it
right.
makes me mad when people say that, because I'm like, there's no brown sugar in a sugar cookie.
There's this completely different color,
Yeah.
texture. Are you a soft cookie guy or a crunchy cookie guy?
Yeah.
Yeah. I am a crunchy cookie guy. I love. They come in a green
Ideally for
bag.
me, crunchy on the outside and soft in the middle.
That's hard to get.
Yeah, if you can hit that, that's ideal. Like, you do a warm center and then like crunch on the outside. Yeah.
So you can. So when that happens, Nicole has made a couple of batches of cookies that have turned out that way. You legit have a 30-second window. When that happens, you break the cookie in half. You can, and then I eat the middle out.
When that happens, you eat as many as you can as fast as you can.
Yeah, 'cause they don't make it into the bag.
They're so good that way, though.
Do you want to do football, or do you want to do top 5 TV shows first?
Let's do the picks done and just kind of cruise through them, and then we can.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. I get you.
I'm not. There's gonna be easy to make picks because
There's a couple.
who
of
knows this, the caveat before we make our picks this week. Any of these players could not play and just completely change these spreads. Like if the Bucks are 11-point favorites, Tom Brady could just be out tomorrow. We don't know. Like with the way the COVID vaccines are coming out.
I think Tom Brady's immune to COVID.
he might be the one person on the planet who could just inject HIV into his veins, and HIV would be like, oh no, eradicated or something.
You know, a lot of people truly hate Baker Mayfield, but there was a lot of people on his side today because it does seem that the NFL is doing some scummy shit the way that they're doing their testing based on the agreements they had going into the season. As far as testing vaccinated players and symptomatic positives and asymptomatic positives. If you're asymptomatic and you are vaccinated, I think you should still be able to play. If you're unvaccinated, I do realize the strength is different on the strain. When it hits the body, it passes. I don't want to get political. I don't know what's right. That's the thing. Nah.
Just don't know.
So, Patriots at the 2-point favorite Colts.
Give me the Colts. I still don't believe the Patriots are good.
Same here. I'm taking
I
the
don't know
Colts.
why I'm just hating on them so hard.
Jonathan Taylor's rested. The Colts were on bye last week, weren't they?
Yep. Through the pass, though.
Yeah, I think the Colts have better weapons.
That's fair. I was just saying.
11-point favorite Cowboys at the Giants. I'm taking the Cowboys.
You need the Giants.
Who's the quarterback?
11 points usually. It doesn't matter. Yeah, they're all bad.
Glennon?
I think Daniel Jones might be clear to play this week. He's questionable.
How does Vegas work these odds out? Because they don't know who's playing. 20 players this week for the Browns.
They don't care. The thing about Vegas is they're not projecting. Like that 11 points, they're not projecting they win by 11. Their goal, for the most part, is setting the line that they'll get 50% of the money on each side. Because then they make
True.
money.
Yeah, they're going to win either way.
That's why the lines move.
Texans at the
If they're getting
5-point
too much
favorite
handle on one side, they
Jags.
switch it.
They recently fired. Yeah, I'm taking the Jags. I think they're going to be invigorated by not having that fucking...
Give me the Texans. I want the points in the battle of the bad. Because I understand the invigoration thing. The thing I hate about...
I think Bills isn't terrible.
The thing I hate about narratives when it comes to sports like that is I feel like a lot of narratives are created after the fact. So it's like
you gotta fit the mold.
They blow up Texans. It's, they were so amped that Urban was gone. They lose badly. They were in disarray. They lost their head coach. Like you can spin it either way. So I don't play narratives usually too hard.
So my narrative is based on the fact that I think James Robinson's actually going to fucking play.
Yeah, but he's hurt. So that's my...
I think he's going to play.
He's gonna play, but he's playing injured, so we'll see how that works. But yeah, the only narrative-based thing that I ever think has any weight is when you get a ball-handling player in the NBA facing someone they want to score points on, because they can just shoot more. They have the opportunity to do that. In football, every team tries to score every week. You know what I mean? Like, so yeah. So that's my thing. I just think narratives sometimes, like, you could be right. They could be extra amped, but they could also just be lost.
Flat because they're media.
Yeah. And so that's the thing. Is I don't know. That's why I don't like narratives like
Well,
that.
next week when I'm talking about, they were so amped up that he wasn't on the sideline. Josh Lambo kicked a career-long. Is he even still on the team?
I just think that someone should run over and kick him as a celebration on a touchdown.
The whole team should circle him
Yeah, just
and do like an Oklahoma drill.
just cream hunt him.
Titans at the 1-point favorite Steelers. You got the Titans right there?
Here we go. No, absolutely not.
I'm taking the Titans. 12.5-point favorite Cards at Detroit Lions. I'm taking the Cards.
Yeah.
Panthers at the 12-point favorite Bills. I'm taking the Panthers. Wait,
I'm taking the Bills.
I'm taking the Bills.
Keen's been benched back-to-back weeks. Things are not looking good.
that's crazy.
Things are not good. The rumor is the Panthers are saying he wasn't benched, that he doesn't know the 2-minute offense yet, so that they're having to put in Phillip Walker or PJ Walker because he knows. I don't know. Regardless,
I think PJ gives him a better chance to win. Give PJ his opportunity.
I think neither of them gives them a chance to win. All right, Dolphins.
Jets at the
Jets are-
9.5-point.
BAD, bad.
It's funny too. Like they talk so much about the Bears being inept with a quarterback and a coach. Like
The
the
Jets.
Jets are the Jets.
The Jets made Gardner Minshew look like. All right, Gardner Minshew was called Joe Montana by somebody after playing the Jets.
I think that was Mike Greenberg.
Yeah, the same Gardner Minshew who the Jags were like, we're good. We can get him. We'll trade him for a 6th-round pick. And he gets called Joe Montana because he beat up on the Jets. So I think Tua's going to have a day, and they're going to be like, oh, Tua's so good after this week. Guaranteed. Tua's going to be heavily talked about as a stud after this week when he's not. He's going to be hitting throws downfield and stuff, and everyone's like, he's throwing deep now. No, he's not.
The Jags gave up on Minshew because they were trying to lose.
Yeah, no.
Look at his numbers.
No, I know, but I'm saying the Jets are bad. They're bad.
Yeah.
Like, people want to blame Zach Wilson. It's not his fault. Do you realize who's that Elijah Moore who's looked good out for the year? At least for a little while. Jamison Crowder is their number 1 receiver right now because Corey Davis is also out. So they have Jamison Crowder and Keelan Cole Sr. Not good. Not good.
It's rough.
Who we got?
I bet they miss Rex Ryan.
Broncos, Bengals. Give me the
3-point favorite. I'm taking the Bengals.
I'm going to take the Broncos. The Bengals seem to not beat teams that aren't the AFC North. 49ers and who's that?
Falcons. Falcons is the 9-point favorite.
Elijah Mitchell out. Give me the 49ers. Kittle's been balling out. Debo should be healthy. I don't believe in the Falcons.
7-point favorite. Packers. I have to take the Packers, and I hate the
Guys, the Packers. The Ravens.
Lamar hasn't even practiced yet.
Regardless, even if he does, he doesn't play corner. And the Packers secondary, or the Ravens secondary, has looked terrible, and Devontae Adams is going to have a field day.
Saints at the 11-point favorite. Buccaneers.
Buccaneers. I will just pick the Buccaneers.
I think it's going to be a backdoor cover.
Maybe.
I think Taysom Hill is going to end up balling out in the fourth quarter when they're up 21. And they're going to get a couple easy scores.
We'll see.
6-point favorite. Vikings at the Bears. Take the Bears. The Bears may have a bunch of players on COVID protocol, but the 30th ranked pass defense and Justin Fields.
As well.
Justin Fields is healthy. Justin Fields is playing. Raiders at the 1-point favorite, 1.5-point favorite. I'm taking the Raiders. The Browns' whole fucking team is out right now.
And who knows who'll be back in time for that.
Yep. Seahawks, the 6-point favorite. Rams. I'm taking the Rams.
The Rams. The Seahawks are us right now. And
Is Russ gone?
Odell will be clear. Russ is today.
No, is Russ going to be gone end of the season?
He will want to be, but I don't think so. I think he stays. I think Rodgers stays. To be honest with you.
They fucking hope Rodgers goes. I'm so scared.
They keep saying that, but I don't think he goes anywhere.
Football team at the 8-point favorite. Eagles.
I'm going to go Eagles because I'm concerned that the football team's not going to have a quarterback.
Is Fitz playing?
Fitz is out for the year, dude.
Oh, that's right. That's been a while ago. Yeah.
Which is like for real.
He had the same shit that Tua had last year, right? The subluxation.
Yeah. It just sounds bad when he's the old guy and he works it.
Yeah, he broke his hip. Old man. But still has like the record for the best one-look score.
Alright, TV show time.
This is so fucking hard.
Oh, yeah. We decided to do top 5 TV shows in our top 5 segment that we can do every week. I want to start off some honorable mentions. TV shows that I really like that didn't quite make it.
Hold on. What if your honorable mentions in my top 5?
What if they are?
Go for it. Honey.
I'm
Curious what your honorable
Do you have
mentions
any
are.
honorable mentions?
Oh, yeah. We
I said we can just do those first, and then you just have to out yourself that isn't your top 5.
Okay.
I have Friends as an honorable mention.
Okay. They're on my list, but they're not top 5.
I like the show. It's
I
very
enjoy
good.
it. You know, it's so recognizable.
It's just not something that I would put in my top 5. I don't like it like a lot of people. I put Tosh Point Oh as an honorable mention.
That's right. It's not what you normally think of because it's no premise.
Yeah, but
videos.
I enjoyed it immensely in high school and college just watching it.
It's humor.
Oh, Tosh is one of my favorite people. I saw him live at IU.
There'd be no Anthony Jeselnik if there was
When
no
he
damn
comes to
Tosh.
Florida, I want to go. Next time he comes to Florida, I'm going.
He comes all the time.
He's from Miami.
Yeah, he comes all the time.
Yeah, when he's here, I'm coming. I'm going to go. I'm going to go.
If he comes to this coast, I'll go with you.
Can you go to Miami? Can you drive 3 hours?
I didn't go to Miami to watch my Bears play.
Yeah, but that's not a guaranteed fun time. That might be fun, depending on the outcome. Tosh is going to be fun. I drove 2.5 hours to go to Bloomington to see it on the news.
I mean, he comes to Tampa too, and that's only an hour away.
Oh yeah, dude's hilarious. I put Family Guy in my honorable mentions. Not as into it as I used to be, but it's one of those shows that I don't really pick to watch anymore. But if it's on, it's funny. Like there are bits that are really funny to me.
Okay.
Westworld season 1.
Yeah. See, like
That's why I put season 1. I think Westworld season 1 is one of, if not the best season of television in the history of television. But season 2 took a nosedive. Season 3, I mean, season 1 was fantastic, and then they almost should have just ended it. They should have found a way to end it, make it just a limited series, and been done.
Ed Harris is such a fucking good actor.
Then I have Bojack Horseman, my honorable mention.
I don't give that enough credit.
It was very, very good. I think that it would
I think it
be
just depresses me.
less funny and a lot more depressing if it wasn't a cartoon and it wasn't animals. Like if it was a live-action people show and it was the same thing, it would be way more depressing. Or even if it was animated and people. I put The Newsroom on here, which I think is a fantastic show.
I feel bad that it petered out a little bit in season 3, but it has the best opening scene I think I've ever witnessed in television. The way that he shit on America.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
But I think it can be.
yeah, but it can be.
It's great.
It was viral multiple times. That scene.
Yeah, that was a really good
That's right.
show.
That was the start of Olivia Munn, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was a really good show.
I guess not. I mean, she was on G4 way back when.
Yeah. And then my last honorable mention, Community. I really liked it for several seasons, and it kind of went off the rails. But Dan Harmon, funny guy.
Yeah. I mean, he's motherfucker's been killing it. He's like he's like Michael Schur.
I even like Harmon Quest. I know it's not like in my list. I don't know if it's a real show, but it's just him and his like friends playing Dungeons and Dragons, and it's hilarious.
So for an honorable mention, I would have to put the X-Files.
Okay. Never seen an episode.
Oh my goodness. It's a show that I hated as a kid because people around me didn't like it. It's a show that...
Do you watch X-Files with the lights on? Do you have the Smoky Man's in this one?
He's in a lot of them.
No, you didn't get the reference?
No.
Chickadee China. The Chinese
No.
chicken. Watching X-Files with the lights on. Where's on the me's on? Smoky Man's in this one. Like Harrison Ford would be frantic.
The show... Dude, Chumbawamba. I didn't watch a single episode of the X-Files until I was 26 years old. Because the movie was coming out and it was going to be on whatever. What are the streaming platforms? I gotta watch it. So I watched the whole series, middle of the night sort of thing, because I wanted to be up to date. It's really good. I don't like the one-off weird episodes as much as I like the following of the story. But there's a lot of stuff that really makes you think, like, oh man, there's so much fucking corruption in the world. I like how Mulder was this huge believer for so long, and then like in the movie he had given up, and Scully was the believer for a while. It was a good show. David Duchovny, I think that was his role, because I did not like Californication. In my honorable mention, I will put Ozark.
Never seen an episode.
It is written really well.
It's one of my dad's favorite shows of all time.
I just have a wife who can't stay awake for an episode. We watched the first 3 episodes together. It had me hooked. I was watching it. But then bedtime comes. And during the day, we can't hang out together and watch it. There's one I'm not going to say because I do believe it's in your... Quit looking at my shit. I do think that it's in your top 5, so I'm not going to say it, but it'd be my honorable mention. I just don't think it holds up. Boston Legal.
Never seen an
That's
episode.
a truly adult show. Like, so I watched that in high school, but it's like a male version of Ally McBeal. You're so fucking young. You make me feel old when I talk about...
I'm ready for you to like, Murder, She Wrote. Fantastic. I Love Lucy. I remember coming home from my first job watching I Love Lucy.
Listen, yeah. Back in my day, we watched Gunsmoke and Bonanza.
You and your kids watching Cheers.
Boston Legal is I'm a big fan of because
See, I have a much smaller pool of things from, and TV shows now are not good.
are you a
Unless
Marvel
they're-
fan?
Unless they're on HBO or like a paid program, like TV shows on regular TV like CBS and ABC are not good. Right? Yeah.
You're right.
They're
Boston
bad.
Legal was on. I mean,
It's just bad.
it was on
Like I want
NBC, I think.
I need to watch Ted Lasso, and it's on Apple TV. Like I mean, like everything that's been good recently is on something you have to pay for.
And yeah, it's not on anything on channel like 1 through 25. That was where
It's
basically
not
it was
good
stopped.
anymore.
So I guess Ted Lasso's not going to be in my top 5. Just talking shit.
What? Why would I want to be in the top 5?
You already talked about it. You already mentioned it. You brought up the name.
Okay.
So Boston Legal, are you a Marvel fan?
Yeah.
Did you watch Blacklist? It's not. You're killing me. You're killing me.
I've not seen as much television shows as a lot of people.
Well, Marvel,
It's hard
Age
for
of
TV
Ultron.
shows to grip me sometimes. Yeah, I know who it is. I know you're talking about from Blacklist. Talk about Spader.
James Spader.
Yeah.
The reason I was a huge fan of Boston Legal is if you're watching a show about attorneys, they always have closing arguments. So you can have like a 3 or 4 minute dialogue, and if you have someone that can give a fucking great speech, you're gonna remember it. So at the end of every episode, he's giving this fucking monologue, and he just nails it out of the park. Same reason Age of Ultron was so fucking good to me. He talked about the demise of people and culture, and the internet ruined everything. He's like, man, gotta jump off the bridge for this guy because he knows what he's talking about. James Spader. Age of Ultron. Boston Legal. I think that should be enough of my...
Spider-Man, No Way Home, now playing in movie theaters.
No, the last one would be Rick and Morty, as far as... I'm sorry if that's in your top 5.
Very good show.
I truly love it, but the only reason it's not in my top 5, I have to watch it by myself, alone in the garage. Because Nicole hates cartoons. But I have watched the first 4 seasons multiple times, but there's no way for me to stream it now unless I go on, like, I think it's an Adult Swim. I don't even know how to watch the newest season of Rick and Morty.
Oh, I own it.
Feel free to bring it over.
I own it on Amazon, so we just log in, watch it. Oh, it's good
It's
stuff.
so fucking memorable to me. I don't know. I truly love it, and I don't know why Nicole won't give anything a chance. It's not just like fucking boring TV.
Did you just call me Stan?
Chick's House.
They only use that name behind
I mean, I love House. It would be in my top 5 because I've watched the whole series like 4 times.
Brownie and Snickers.
You gonna do top 5 then?
Yeah. You want to go? You go one for one? One.
Yeah.
Okay.
So 5th, I put Lucifer. I know it's probably not the best show, but I enjoyed it so much. Tom Ellis.
Didn't that fucking show fall off hard? That was an NBC show. You talked about not being on streaming service. Lucifer was a regular TV show for 3 seasons, I think.
It was, and then it got canceled, and then Netflix brought it back, and then they were going to be done, and then there was a petition, and they were going to be back, and then they were going to be done, there's a petition, and so there's going to be one more season now. This was going to be the last season, now they're going to do one more season. Another show that I really liked was The Order on Netflix. It's another one that like probably isn't very good, but for some reason I really liked it.
Sometimes you just have to hit with the character.
Yeah, it was about this kid who goes and he like becomes a werewolf. There's like a school about magic and werewolves and stuff. I don't know. It was good. I enjoyed it.
So I'll start my number 5 then. This isn't necessarily my number 5 show, but it's one that I have to hit because it's one that I've watched multiple times. And Nicole gets into it, but then she falls asleep. But she's never said she doesn't like it. And that's Justified from FX. Raylan Givens.
See, I love Justified. The only reason it wasn't in my top 5 is I've only seen the first 2 seasons so far. I was hoping that my wife would get into it. She's watched the first 2 episodes. I'm hoping she still gets into it, is the goal, so that we can watch Justified together because it's so good.
It's a show even as a poor
If she
person.
doesn't get into it, I will just watch it by myself.
Even as a poor person, I found a way to buy the DVDs for the seasons to rewatch.
Yeah, and this is the thing is like it's like you said with Rick and Morty for you, it's not as fun to watch a show by yourself. It's just not.
Right. It's hard. That's why there's a show that's going to be on there that part of the reason is because me and Nicole have watched it so many times together.
Okay.
4.
4. For me, How I Met Your Mother. It was my favorite show for a long time. It's just fallen off in that like
That's a Monday night show, isn't it? Thursday night?
Monday.
Yeah.
Monday. All right, so that was the best hour and a half of television. 2 hours on point. They had the best 2 hours of television ever. At 7:30, it was Rules of Engagement,
God, underrated show.
and then How I Met Your Mother was on at 8, and then at 8:30 was Two and a Half Men, and then Big Bang was on at 9
Yeah.
at one point in time. And they had to move things around because that was too much. Like, there were a lot of people who just wanted to watch all 4 of those shows. And so they ended up moving some of them days.
They had to because there were such good lead-ins to bump other shows up.
Well, plus what you're supposed to see, you're like, have people sit on the couch from 7 to 9, like, just on CBS the whole time?
I think moving shit was what led to Rules of Engagement falling off. Because it ended up being, at the end, I think it was like a Friday night show. And
They moved Big Bang for the other two, too. Big Bang got moved to Thursday.
Thursdays. TGIF is a reason because it's a fucking power block.
That's what's weird about Big Bang. It's one of the more beloved shows, but it got moved because they weren't moving How I Met Your Mother 2 and a Half Men. That's what's wild. They weren't moving those two. And so Big Bang got moved in favor of those two. And then it lasted longer. Who knows? Like, that's what's weird.
I'll remove that from my... No, never mind. That's going to be somewhere on my list, I think.
Alright, so what did you for?
So I just did Justified, number 4, Sons of Anarchy.
I would recommend it to every time to watch it.
It is fabulous. It doesn't end near as strong because you really had to try to hold people.
Very few shows end well.
The last few episodes, they really tied it in well, which is why they had to make the Mind series. But not many series finish good.
No, I mean, look at the most popular shows of all time. Yeah, Game of Thrones.
Quick, talk about the series.
Okay. Alright.
Oh, correct. A lot of series. The last episode
Okay,
gets
even How I Met Your Mother, I
criticized.
already talked about. People were very upset with that. It has to end some way. Like, that's
I think it's because you developed such an emotional attachment. You should have had your ending written before it premiered. You had to have a go. Yeah, well, he fucking blew it.
It was based on his friend in him.
Yeah, well, to end up with your Aunt Robin. Shut the fuck up. I didn't like it because the whole series, it seemed like they were going to end up together.
That's it.
At the kid's suggestion. Yeah, spoiler alert.
If you've been living under a rock for 8 years.
Dad, why don't you end up with Aunt Robin? Come on, Shelly.
The more I thought about it, the more I'm okay with it. But what she says, she goes, this wasn't a story about Aunt Robin. There was a story about Aunt Robin, which is true. That's what the whole show was really about.
I think part of it is hindsight. In hindsight, Ted's kind of a piece of shit. The way that he can't... He doesn't know how to be happy for so much of the show. Like, from his weird
Young,
shit with Stella.
Not everyone's emotionally mature.
I loved him and the Baker girl. But he was in love with Robin at the time, and I just loved the Baker girl. Big jokes, quick girl. Big
She cheated on him, man.
Listen, I get it. I didn't like it. Didn't Stella have a kid?
I mean, what's my son's name? Talking about the show.
Right, okay.
Marshall is straight up named after Marshall. I like the name Marshall. Bethany loves the character Marshall from How I Met Your Mother. So that's where he fell on it. And Marshall's a great character. My least favorite thing about the whole entire show was when they just made Marshall and Lily break up for that little bit at the very beginning. Unnecessary. They could have just let him be the perfect couple. They could just let him be that and it'd be fine.
Yeah, TV doesn't like perfect couples.
I know, but it would have been fine to have... Since they weren't the main couple, it would have been fine. They kind of did perfect couple the rest of the time. They were perfect the rest of the show.
Was that when she went to go and be an artist?
Yeah, they had a little tiff there, but I mean, they still, for the most part, was pretty perfect. Except for the last season. It was like the very beginning of the last season. Everything in between, they were like the perfect couple.
I think Jason Segel is just a fucking great actor to
Dude,
be
he's
that guy.
wonderful.
He just plays that. Like, he, to me, will always be Marshall.
Oh, and I love him in Forgetting Sarah Marshall. So
Dude.
So
Done.
next week, let's do movies. Just back to back it.
I would say let's do mini-series next because it's going to take some time for me to weed down.
Do I
five.
know 5 miniseries? That'll be
Oh, you're right. You're not big on media, and mini-series have only gotten really prevalent in the last like 4 years.
I just have to see. I don't know. I might.
Plus, you might have to. Do you consider like documentaries? Because Making a Murderer is a mini-series.
Yeah, we like that, and like The Last Dance, stuff like that.
The Last Stand should be considered a mini-series.
Okay. So maybe I can come up with some stuff. What's your 3?
Oh, I'm going back to back.
I don't know. I can go.
No, that's fine. Number 3 for me then will be a recency bias would be Succession.
I just watched that first episode last night. I've never seen it.
It gets.
I've heard how good it is from a lot of people now, and so last night Bethany and I sat down and watched the first episode, and it was okay.
Just give it.
It's hard with dramas when you only watch the first episode. You have to get into it. You gotta know get to learn the characters, get to set all that up. But yeah, I've heard good things.
I watched the season finale of season 3.
I've heard this 3rd season is incredible.
Bro, it is truly a show that has gotten better each point, and I don't know how you can keep trying to fuck people over while also having the person getting fucked over come up with a stronger hand and not lose you
Credibility.
Yeah, like I think that's the strongest point is there is a twist so consistently while maintaining believability. You're just thinking, oh man, oh fuck, oh he's got it. Like there's some episodes in season 1 where it's just like it's flip flopping who you even want to be on sides with. And season 3, episode 8, so before the finale. Fuck, I was on pins and needles like, and now I have to wait days for the season finale. And then I watched the season finale, and it was like, oh my god! Oh, who? You got me. Like, I am fucking all in. It should be higher for me than 3, because it's...
I'm gonna watch that one. I'm gonna get that on a couple more views too.
I don't trust you to look at
Number 3. I'm gonna change mine to Number 3, Scrubs.
I should have put that on my list. I totally forgot.
I
can't do this all on my
I didn't like it again. That's when as I've gotten older, the more I like it, like because it's a dramedy.
It's a dramedy.
It's more comedy than a lot of dramedies, obviously, but there's like literally a hard lesson in every episode, and it's so good.
The older you get, I think you appreciate the drama sides of it more.
Yep.
And the high school you just like, oh, it's so fun and cute, and then the underlying message is like, fuck, we are gonna die.
It's such a good.
No one gets out alive.
It's such a good show. I love
still not believe in
Elliot.
season 9.
I love. There's a 9th season.
8th, the James Franco season.
Don't recall.
So Nicole enjoyed that. Nicole enjoyed that season. I enjoyed that season, but I also enjoy it for what it was intended to be. Not a scrub season. It was meant to be a full reboot because everyone else wanted out of the show. That's why every other main character has bit parts. I also really love James Franco.
That's not Scrubs. That's fine. That's not Scrubs. And Shia LaBeouf has not been in the Indiana Jones movie. Like, there are certain things I will die on the hill on. The alien. Yeah, Jones. I can't.
I love Perry.
Oh, yeah. He's good.
Newbie.
Samantha.
I forgot the fucking dog was in here.
Linda. Samantha. Barbara.
Listen, Deborah.
Hey, Barbie. That show is interesting because everyone has their own nicknames for like all the characters.
You'd think there'd be no Turk if not for fucking Clueless.
That show's so good.
It is.
I want to watch Scrubs now. I'm trying to watch. I'm trying to watch Succession and like.
Do you know offhand what's your
Justified, I just wanna
favorite
watch
Scrubs
Scrubs.
episode? Is it the Brendan Fraser episode?
Oh.
That one,
My
I
favorite?
think that one hit me the
It's
hardest.
probably the best episode of Scrubs. I don't know if it's my favorite, because it's not fun.
Oh, yeah, I didn't say it was fun.
It's a good one, though.
Like, that one just really hit me the hardest, and, like, it's been on social media so many different
I
times.
really like the end, too, when he, like, doesn't know the janitor's name. And then the janitor tells him his name, and then, like, he walks out and someone else calls the janitor something else immediately. Oh, that's just good.
Early on, when they have the woman who just... She doesn't want the treatment. She, the little gray-haired lady with glasses.
Oh, so
I think there's episode 3 or 4.
the thing I hate most about Scrubs, the biggest con, is that the first, like, 4 or 5 seasons don't fit a normal TV now. The square, a 4-3 or whatever instead of 16-9.
The aspect, yeah.
Oh, it so sucks. I hate having square.
It's one of the reasons there's some shows I won't rewatch.
And that's the thing is Scrubs, I would rewatch it more if it fit my screen.
And I'm surprised they haven't found a way to stretch it appropriately. It has to have been NBC with the cameras they use, because, like, I have fucking Mighty Morphin Power Rangers from 1993
Yep.
stretched.
There's gotta be a way. I think it was just a low budget show at the beginning. They didn't think it was going to do well. And then...
In cartoons, they can stretch it. I watched Doug with Jackson in high def.
If they could get it to fit the screen, I would have rewatched it more.
Yes.
Like I don't know why, but it really bothers me. And for some reason, I get this weird in my head that it's like gonna hurt my TV, which is not. But I'm like, it's gonna hurt my TV.
But I want to enjoy it
because the middle is on and the other sides aren't on, and they're gonna get off kilter. And
But I don't want these fucking black lines, 4 inches either way.
yeah,
I'll never forget when TV went from 4:3 to a 16:9 aspect ratio, and how mad my dad was that there was an inch of black bar. What's the fucking point? I can't even just put it in 4:3 so I get the full screen. I was like, there's actually way more screen coverage if you don't do it, because this square and your screen is this. Like, you're losing a little bit each, top and bottom, but when you have like a legit 4 inches of sidebar each way, not the same thing.
right.
But 4:3 aspect, I think, is one of the worst ways to watch television. Let's see, that was number 3.
Yep, number 2 for me, Rick and Morty. It would be number 1.
Does Bethany watch that with you?
Yes.
So it would be number
So-
1, if not one of those aspects, probably.
No, so I watch it when it comes out. She doesn't have that later. It's on 11 p.m. on Sunday nights. I watch it then, and then she watches it on Monday with me, and I watch it the second time. I would put it number 1 if it wasn't still going. There's only been 5 seasons, so it's hard for me to make it number 1. And I'm one of those people who I try not to be a prisoner of the moment.
You don't want to be a recency bias.
I don't want to be a recency
Which
bias
is why
person.
your fucking top 5 Christmas songs are all from like 1965 and before.
No, those are just good. But I try not to be recency bias on something like a TV show where opinions change so fast what you like. And like songs and stuff.
But we're also in an era where you don't have to turn it off. If it's a show that you watch and you want to keep watching, and then you play something you used to
And that's the
love.
other reason it's number 2 for me. It's my favorite show by far to watch an episode of. Replayability though, it's not as high as my number 1. My number 1 I can just watch all day, every day. On repeat.
I know what it is. So I'll keep up my list.
You don't have to. We have the same favorite show. We can just say it's good.
No, because my wife hates it. So it won't be my number 1.
What's your number 2? Nigga B.
I might-
Number 1 is.
I might have fucked up my shit. I have 3 shows on here that I'm.
That's not good. If you mess it up, just have a tie for 2. It's fine. Work on counting in different podcasts.
No, you know what? I'll put this one just because it made me deep dive so many different times into lore.
Supernatural?
Game of Thrones. The last season fucking sucked dick, and I get that.
I will say it's my least favorite show that I've seen every episode.
Is it because of the last season? Because it broke your heart so much?
No, I never liked it. I never liked the show ever. I sat and watched every episode because it was such a giant thing that everyone watched and everyone talked about. And so I kept watching it because I wanted to know what everyone was talking about, not to just sit there awkwardly and like not know what's going on, like people who don't watch football and the Super Bowl's on. Like I didn't want that to be.
I'm here for the commercials, dude.
So I watched it all, and every single episode I was like, all right, I'm gonna understand. I never really I get it. Like I'm not gonna sit here and be like, you're wrong. Everyone loved it.
You didn't like the twist? Like, you didn't like the political drama aspect of it? Like, who's playing the games behind the scenes? That's what got me.
It was fine.
Then you might not like Succession.
The last 2 or 3 seasons to me were rough because there were so many characters that everyone was on screen for like 4 or 5 minutes at a time. And max. And then I was just like, I'd only care about like 2 plot lines at a time. So then I was like, cool, I watched an hour for like the 8 minutes I enjoyed. That really was
I get that because it's such an expansive universe.
Yeah, and that was harder for me.
But then
If they would have focused on, if they had less characters who had focused more, I probably would have liked it more. I think there was a lot of storylines I didn't really care about. And then also, like, I wasn't really rooting for anyone. I wasn't like a huge Jon Snow fan or Tyrion. Like, my favorite character at the beginning was called Drogo. That ended terribly. And then
yeah, you shouldn't have taken that bet, sort of thing.
then my roommate was like, who's your favorite character? Like, you had Tyrion and Jon Snow. I was like, oh, no, I'm not picking my favorite character again. That was terrible.
Like the Red Wedding, like that.
I didn't pick a favorite character until the guy who comes over with the spear with the poison on the end. I was like, alright, he's my new favorite. Dude lasted like 2 episodes where the mountain just
The mountain.
Yeah, it is fine.
Like the show, because I got so invested to the point. I listened to 2 separate podcasts to understand the lore in the books and how they were different, and people who understood the political aspects of it better than I did because they knew the lore. It got me so invested. I legit listened to 4 hours of a podcast every week based on every episode. So it's another hour. So I spent 5 hours a week.
No, but that's what you want though. I mean, you want to show you can dive that far
It
into
got me.
Like with Rick and Morty, the reason I liked it, I loved it. I liked it when there was only 1 season out, and it wasn't nearly as big as it is now. And then it started to take off, and I had people in college like, oh, you know, did you like it more when it was like a show you recommended to your friends, like, hey, you should watch this. Like, there's 1 season out, there's 2 seasons out, and you're recommending it, people hadn't really heard of it. Like, they're like, did you like it more then? And I was like, no. I was so happy that it's big, because that means it's going to be on for a long time. And if I want memorabilia, I can buy it. I don't care if I'm the only person watching something. That doesn't give me any points.
That's funny.
It's just something that it'll get canceled, and then I'll be sad.
I heard a very brief explanation about Rick and Morty. It's a show that tries to sound smart, that makes dumb people think they're smart by understanding a dumb plot line. That's okay with me. It doesn't have to actually be smart just because there's inside jokes throughout it with pop culture relevance.
No, it's awesome.
I just enjoy it. The one thing I really truly miss is the fucking, and it's a dumb thing, the burps during conversation with Rick.
Season 5 though was spectacular.
I'm
the best
excited to watch it.
season
If I
since
could
season
have found a way to do it that I didn't have to justify spending money for it, like I have Showtime.
I bought it. The cool thing about Amazon, apparently, I bought it before, like,
But do you
before
own it?
season
Do you own it? What if it gets pulled off of Amazon?
No, I own it.
You have discs, physical discs,
No.
so you have digital rights,
What do you? I bought it off Amazon,
right, to stream, right?
but it's not like part of. Like, what
It's
do you
not
mean?
part of Prime. So you technically don't own it. You own digital rights to it. It can still be pulled off of Amazon
But it
in the
won't
future.
be. Movies and shows don't get pulled off. Haven't been anyway.
But you still
I own season 1 through 4 on discs.
Alright.
But season 5, I wanted to watch. I didn't have cable, so I paid. It was only $20, and it got added at the exact same time it would air on my Amazon Prime account, and then I have the whole season.
So you essentially pre-ordered to be downloaded immediately. So.
Yeah. I didn't know you could do that until that season. I was pretty stoked.
I dig that.
Yeah, so that was like $20. It's worth it for me. I like that show enough for $20.
Yeah, fuck that. So that was my number 2.
Number 1 for me is The Office.
And Ashley.
I mean, it's like I said, Rick and Morty. I enjoy watching it the first time through the most, but man, I could just watch like The Office is a weird show where I will watch the whole thing. It'll end, and I'm like, you know what would be awesome? Watching season 1 of The Office. I just started this over again because I think people got upset when Michael left.
What's your most watched season?
I just watch it through every time. I don't jump around. I just watch it through. On a loop. Just
In
continue.
a similar vein, I
Season
do.
8 and 9 have no Michael, so I think it's perfect because you watch those, and I still think
Except
they're
for the
good.
last episode.
I still think they're good, yeah. But I still think they're good, and then when it ends, I want some Michael. So then you go back to season 1, episode 1 to get more Michael. And when he's at his cringiest and his worst. Season 1.
I think the problem is trying to introduce that show to people for season 1.
Well, season 1, the episodes aren't good when you're first watching them.
And it was
because
a
they're
truly
too
show with
cringy.
zero fucking budget.
Yeah, and
Pre-hair plug Michael.
it's hard to get used to the format. Because it's the only show like that, where they're talking to the camera. It's like...
It's a true break the fourth wall.
And it's
On
hard
purpose.
it's hard for people to get used to that.
Even though, like, so Nicole, her favorite show is Grey's Anatomy. Or maybe her number 2 favorite show. But, like,
soap opera at this point.
But Meredith is constantly breaking the fourth wall because she's talking off camera to the people watching the show. So it's still breaking the fourth wall. She thinks The Office is dumb. She has given it a shot. I think my problem is that I try to make her watch season 1.
You gotta start season 2, episode 1.
It's rough.
I don't even do that. When I recommended it to my dad, who wanted to watch it, I told him, I was like, look. He said he didn't like it. I said, we just skip season 1. I said, I'm watching season 2, episode 1. The Dundies. Start there. And then get through the first couple episodes, and then he's now seen The Office through like 4 times.
Season 3 just gets me. It's the first one I bought on DVD. It was the first series I ever bought on DVD. I love all of them. I could probably skip the first couple episodes of season 1.
I think the last 2 episodes of the show are 2 of my favorites.
She loves the wedding scene
I love
where they do Chris Brown forever.
I love the arm. Assistant to the assistant visual manager. I love that whole bit. I love the Guten Broncos. I like the ending. That's one of the few shows I like the way it ends.
I rooted so much for Andy and Aaron, and then they just shot that to shit.
Dude, they made Andy bad at the end.
That was cringe for a different reason. When they went sailing and like,
What do you think Michael's cringiest moment is? I know the popular answer is Scott's toss.
yeah, but so it's
In my
something new.
opinion, it's not that one, because that one, he had good intentions. He truly thought he was going to be rich. To me, I think the cringiest is probably when he goes to Hooters with Jim. He's like, you should order milk. And then the waitress comes, he goes, we're not worthy. We're not worthy. And then she's like, can I have a chicken breast, hold the chicken? Like, I just put myself as Jim in that situation and just think that would be the worst lunch in the history of all time. You'd be so uncomfortable. So bad.
A couple of times when he's really rude to Dwight for no reason than to make himself look cool. Like,
Michael is the nicest person on the show
but also
and the meanest person on the show.
for the same reason.
Well, he's the nicest person on the show because I think he's nice. I think he's the meanest person on the show because there's times he's blindsided by trying to help himself and just doesn't think how his actions affect other people. But he always makes up for it at the end. He always kind of like, oops. I don't do it. Here's the funny thing though. I don't think that show could happen now.
It wouldn't get the chance. Correct.
I don't
They
think.
put it in a flat time spot to start.
No, I mean, I don't think that show could happen now with the following it has.
So
If they said, we're gonna do a season 10, we're bringing everyone back, and we're gonna do it the exact same way. They couldn't keep it as irreverent.
True. Because, I mean,
They
it's
crossed
more,
too many lines.
it's watched more now than it was when it was on.
Well, I just think there's a lot of racist jokes in there that are funny, don't get me wrong. But because of that, I think
It would get blown up
I think
too much by social
I
justice.
think there'd be a lot of griping about it.
Watching him cry at the wedding was great. When he was at Pam's art thing,
Oh, that was amazing.
God.
He goes, how much?
How much? Yeah.
Oh my gosh, another cringy moment, Date Mike.
When he was rude to her tenant, or her landlord.
Not even that, but
No, that was one of the...
That
I
was
like,
pretty bad too.
You fucking piece of
And he's
shit.
like, yeah, I dated her. Talking about Jan? Oof.
This halftime is presented by
Ugh.
Toyota.
Yeah, he does.
Him and Holly though, fantastic match.
They are a great couple. The initial, right with the Yoda shit, right when they were putting the
That
office
was good
chairs in.
stuff. Yeah, because I just don't know. I really don't know.
I don't think it would be popular. Even if there was no Office before and they tried to create it now, I don't think it would hit at all.
Well, I don't think. I think socially, like I think that it would be canceled for crossing the line.
Yeah, because you wouldn't have been able to develop the hilarious awkward without
Crossing
lines on accident. Purposely on accident.
I saw
Accidentally on purpose.
a thing online that was they're talking about like the golden age of comedy was like 2003 to like 2012, and that like
No holds barred, pushing the line.
yeah, and they said nowadays like it's just not like those type of movies you couldn't make them now because
Like-
they're crossing lines and
I think of all the stuff SNL does when they cross lines every Saturday. But like even when Lonely Island first came out, wouldn't work now.
I
Like,
think it'll
even
come
like
back.
Dick in the Box was fun, but it's still Mother Lover. Ooh.
Like I told Bethany, I think this stuff will all come back around, but I think it'll be
They're probably all in the family.
it'll be disclaimers at
Yeah.
the beginning, like how Disney Plus has a disclaimer being like, "Hey, this
We don't
this
agree with this.
depiction of Indians
Some
in Peter
Pocahontas
Pan
shit.
is not great," like that kind of thing. I think there'll be like disclaimers like being like before you watch, I don't know, The Office or whatever show it's called. There are some racist jokes.
There'll be some
and-
culturally insensitive
yeah.
topics
So if you-
discussed.
the culture is sensitive for LGBT community, whatever. If you don't like it, don't watch it, type thing. I ain't convinced you haven't. So that's your number one.
Target makes last minute gifting.
I want to put Big Bang Theory as an honorable mention because it's not my number one.
Okay.
I have watched that series because it's on HBO Max now, and that's my favorite streaming platform.
Order today, get it
Probably
today.
12 times.
Oh, I'm gonna shout out a couple CW shows real quick. I really like
Supernatural.
Smallville looks good.
My friend Brandon didn't miss an episode. He watched on UPN. Yeah, back before CW.
CW is one of those channels that has like pretty decent shows,
It
and
has because it's one of the few channels that would take
then they
risks.
continue them forever.
Right. That's how they make all their money.
They had Pokemon.
You're right, they did.
Pokemon's good.
That is now on Netflix.
Kind of.
The original series.
It's been on Netflix for years, and it's only the first like however many episodes. It doesn't go up very. It doesn't
And now
go
they
very
have the
far.
movies.
It doesn't go very far, unfortunately.
So, Big Bang Theory, that's going to be on my... It has to be... I should have probably put it at 5.
Okay.
And then Yellowstone.
I've not seen it. Heard good things.
That's another show. It's so drama-centric. If you end up liking Succession, you will like Yellowstone. Because there's a lot of family dynamics and taking over... like, trying to... Like, you have a brand, you have children you want to lead it to, and then the shit ensues. That's... Neither of us mentioned Parks and Rec, but we both love it.
That's my wife's favorite show.
We both like it,
It's good.
but it's similarities to The Office means it can't both be in your top 5 because it's.
Well, the thing about Parks and Rec, and Bethany's probably watching, so I'll probably sleep on the couch tonight. The thing about Parks and Rec to me is just all the characters are unrealistic. Leslie Knope can never exist. She's too perfect. Ron is too libertarian to ever have a job as a thing. Like, and I understand there are some things like that with The Office too, but like,
they're all believable.
it's believable. Like Michael gets his job, and then you can hire Kevin, and you can hire Jim. Jim makes perfect sense. Everyone else makes perfect sense. The only people you can't maybe say don't make sense are Michael and Kevin. Michael hired Kevin. Michael keeps his job because the branch does well.
Did you hear that?
My thing is, there are bosses out there.
There are Michaels.
Yeah, there are bosses who are bad that have jobs. So
Because they were great at the job beneath them, they get hard to fire them. I have worked with several Michaels who were great. Is she texting you right now?
Yep.
There are several people I have worked with.
I'm going to lose it. Yeah,
Leslie Knope was too idealistic to lead. Michael believes in the best in people, and he showed several times
it is interesting.
the reason he got promoted. The same reason when he went to Chili's and had the baby back ribs, he got that contract because he's a great salesman. He's a shitty boss.
Well, here's the other thing. Remember him when Jim was boss?
He was shitty at it though.
No, remember when Jim was boss?
Uh-huh.
With Michael? And Michael kind of gave a little like, yeah, you see what it's like on my side a little bit. Like, I think Michael played stupid a little bit to get his way with the people.
Absolutely.
Yeah, he played well. And like, you show up with Stanley where he tried to do it the fun way, and Stanley wasn't having it, and then he was like, everyone leave except for Stanley. And he goes, you don't have to like me, but you don't have to respect me, but you will not talk to me in front of other people like me. You laid it on the law. Stanley there. But yeah, the thing about, I love the Andy and April for Parks and Rec. But outside of that, there's none of the other characters like I'm like obsessed with. Like a lot of people are obsessed with Ron Swanson. He's like the movie obsessed person.
Well, that's because he's so extreme.
He's so extreme.
He would be fired.
Oh yeah.
He would be let go because he's a government job and he's a fucking prick.
The best character is
they're extremes on such extremes that it makes it enjoyable to watch. But in real life, in a work environment, someone would get fucking shot.
I will say, I like the accessory characters from Parks and Rec better than I like the Office accessory characters. Like John Ralphio.
Jerry, like.
Yeah, well,
Jerry would be that guy in that role.
Yeah,
he would be the guy to have a fucking hot wife.
Yeah, I just met like the guys, the people who were barely just in sometimes. I like better. Jeremy Jam, John Ralphio,
Sebastian.
Sebastian, the doctor. I forget what his name was. He was kind of funny. John Ralphio's dad. Who was the other? The Tammys are fun.
The Tammys are fun. Did you hear the Kevin and then in the Office, his secret storyline that didn't get released because they ran out of episodes in time?
Oh, the one about he was secretly smart.
Yeah, he owned the bar.
He did own the bar.
But the reason why he owned the bar?
Because he drank so much there or something?
Yeah, he was owed so many beers. He bought it on his tab. He bought the bar on his tab.
That's funny.
Because of his genius, and everyone wanted to be around him. Yeah, that's awesome shit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I like the accessory characters, people who aren't in it that much better than me. I was like, I'm not a big Todd Packer guy.
No.
Like, a lot of the accessory characters in The Office, no thanks. The main Office, I like better than the main Parks and Rec, but the accessory...
Packer's the biggest cringeworthy guy.
I still like Packer.
Yeah, that's why he's so fucking
good. I don't really enjoy when he's on the screen.
But have you ever worked with the Todd Packer?
I don't think so.
I worked as a welder for a year and a half. I worked with like 2 or 3 Todd Packers.
I work in child welfare. You can't hire Todd Packer.
No, sometimes those guys become that guy once they get comfortable.
There aren't men where I work. And I'm like...
Yeah, I'm the only guy in my field now.
Yeah, like... Child welfare is just not a place where you're going to get people
misogynistic
like Todd Packer.
doesn't survive.
No. Because it's mostly women, and women aren't going to hire you if you have that.
My number one show. Because then I realize we're getting pretty deep. We're pretty deep. We're an hour and a half. My number one show is ER. The start of many careers. There'd be no George Clooney. It went for 15 years. None of the main characters were left towards the end except they made an appearance at the end. It is one of the only shows I've ever watched to have a complete staff turnaround, stay relevant. I loved it when I was a kid, when it was way too young to be watching the core. It was so medically accurate. They kept introducing new characters that I found a way to like. And I did not realize until it got re-released on Hulu, the fucking show went into like 2012. So it became so relevant. It was truly Grey's Anatomy before Grey's Anatomy, while being much more accurate, and invoked a better emotional response because they didn't try to just abuse one fucking character. Like, Meredith Grey should have been dead like 5 fucking times. In ER, they killed main characters all the fucking time, and they kept bringing new ones that you found a way to like.
See, and that's one thing I always say. That's one thing that always bothers me about Game of Thrones too. Is a lot of the hype around it was like they'll kill anyone, they don't care. I'm like, after the Red Wedding, they don't really kill any main characters.
Yeah,
like they make it the rest of the way. They introduce someone and then kill them 3 or 4 episodes later. You know what show killed main characters? The Walking Dead. Like,
I can't fucking stand that show.
I understand, but I'm like, if you want to talk about a show killing main characters, Rick's dead, Carl's dead. Like, they just don't kill main characters. Like, they killed Rick, the main character of the show. That'd be like if they killed Jon Snow, kept him dead, and then killed Daenerys.
Yeah, they need to bring back fucking Jon Snow, because, like, he was one of the, if not for him.
Right, I was like, if it was Walking Dead, they'd be like, Tyrion's dead. Like, The Walking Dead doesn't care.
I feel bad neither of us mentioned Breaking Bad.
Yeah.
It's too slow for me. Just like The Walking Dead. I tried. I started watching season 2 of Walking Dead, and it was just so slow and melodic. Like, it is like listening to an indie poet. It was like a snaps. Like, I couldn't. Nicole loved Breaking Bad, yet we have never watched it together. You know why? Because she doesn't need to watch it.
You know what I'll say though? Hopefully, to gain some points with my wife, I did buy her the entire disc set of Parks and Rec, so she owns the whole show on DVD now, so she can watch it whenever she wants.
DVD, not Blu-ray.
And
if you'd love to, you'd about Blu-ray.
Yeah, I don't know if it's on Blu-ray or not. It's probably Blu-ray. I have no idea. I barely tell them apart. But the thing,
fucking 4-3.
The thing I like I will say about that show too. Whenever she watches it, I'm never like, oh, this is on. But I'm pretty good about that in general. Like, she was watching Selling Tampa, and I don't care.
Neither of us mentioned Dexter either.
Nope.
I love Dexter, and the new season is fucking good.
Yeah, I haven't seen the new season, but I will say Dexter's good, but I knew it wasn't like top 5 for me.
That's fair.
I never thought it was top 5, so.
I can see nothing because each season is so
style.
broken up.
If you notice, like, all 5 of mine for the most part were sitcoms. That's more my style, because to me, TV I see as my escape from real life.
You do a lot of serial killers too?
No, I just mean like
you don't want true drama.
No, I want it to be fun. I want it to be relaxing and fun, and like I deal with a lot of junk and just grossness and child welfare. That type of job. I mean, I deal with a lot of stuff that's not awesome. So when I watch TV, I don't want it to be like dramatic and make me cry and stuff. I want it to be like, oh, that was fun. It was a fun little escape from real world stuff. So.
You watch Marley and Me?
No, I've not seen Marley and Me.
Alright. This has been the MVZ podcast. We're going to be rolling out some merch. We had Dan Ram did some stuff before Zach, when we had the banner made and stuff before. it was a good time. I enjoyed working with AD Concepts, and then it fell apart. And that's how it goes. But on to bigger, better things. Dan's with another company now, and I have faith everything is going to work well the way it fucking should. We'll be back. I'm not sure if we're going to do Wednesday or Thursday yet. We'll see what the wife says for both of us. This has been another edition. In the next episode, I'll talk about
I'm not feeling great.
14 and 15
People all
totals.
laughed and they call me names. Was it so tough and the world
no,
so
extra time because I gave you,
Can I
I
have
did give you one that you had.
right down to the
watch.
arcade?
Yeah, I didn't give you credit for the watch. You taste
This morning, I stayed up till 2. People stare at me like I'm trapped
See
in
you
a zoo.
soon.
Was it so tough and the world so lame? Can I have some cash and a ride down to the arcade?
On Call Pod. Interested in being a sponsor or want to be on the show? Drop us an email at oncallpod@gmail.com. For more info, go to oncallpod.com.